Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pop and Culture Podcast, episode number 37. I'm Adrian,
I'm Jay.
and we're here on a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday.
No new comics.
No, I mean, I've read some things since last week,
Okay.
but nothing new I guess. They're a week old.
Well, technically, they're a week old, but comic stores just got their comics today. They'll go out on the shelves tomorrow.
Right.
But unfortunately, one of us will be gone.
Can you guess which one? Not this one.
It's not you.
No, it's almost never me, actually.
I don't think it has actually been you yet. Once. Family problems.
Yes. Yeah. But we didn't get to announce that first.
We didn't. Well, let's not announce that.
No.
Instead, let's
Anyway,
drink about it.
All right, so we are going to drink this week in what is apparently a full growler.
It is not a half growler.
I didn't notice it's Clean Canteen.
Yes.
I love Clean Canteen.
It is
They're great.
stainless steel. I did not get the insulated one because I have a refrigerator. So what's the point?
Yes. So in that growler is Laurelwood Brewery's Free Range IPA. Is that what Free Range Red.
Free range red.
There we
I
go.
have horrible handwriting.
It's right. So do I, but it's different.
So I've never used this yet. So I'm
Except for water, right?
Except for water.
Yeah.
So a little hesitant to open it because I didn't know if it was going to explode everywhere or what was going. Wow, Scotty! Thank you, Special Brews. That is filled to the absolute brim.
Yeah, it is.
All right,
Okay.
let's take a drink.
So as mentioned, you purchased over at Special Brews, our favorite bottle shop across the street.
Sure did.
All right. You're dripping out of the bottom there a little bit.
I couldn't not. It was so full.
Yeah.
There's no way to go about it.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to seal it back up right now, so that way we have another half a growler to go. Deliciousness. Okay,
All right. Here we go.
got a little bit of head on mine.
You do.
We'll learn how to use the growler eventually.
Yeah. Well.
Oh,
That's crisp and refreshing.
it really is. It was
Perfect for our 80-degree day.
Yeah, weird, right? It is getting way too warm.
Yeah, it's technically summer.
Yeah.
Sunday was the first day of summer. But 80 degrees. I'm not used to it yet. I'm glad I got the car with the air conditioning in it now.
I really like it.
No, it's very delicious. I would seek this one out.
From the smell of it, I thought it was going to be hoppy. I thought it was going to be hoppy. When I first opened the growler,
Right.
took that smell, I'm like, uh-oh. It is delightful.
It has almost a caramel finish to it. I don't know if you're getting that, or maybe I'm just weird.
No, I get what you're saying. And that flavor is developed by the way they toast.
Right. Yeah.
So, no, it's I'm super pleased with this. It's so delicious. You may not have leftover to take.
Maybe
We
not.
may just drink
Maybe
the
not.
beer.
Okay. So what have you been up to? You watched any TV this week since Wednesday? I know you were away for a bit.
Wait for a bit. I have watched some TV. I'm trying to remember the name of the show that was so bad. Another Period.
A what?
Another Period. Okay.
Tell me this is not a sitcom about girls sinking their cycles.
No, that's called The Red River.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
This is Comedy Central's attempt at satire and humor.
Oh.
And it fell flat, man.
Okay.
Real flat. So, do you watch the show Drunk History?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, yes.
Okay. So, essentially, it is... Have you noticed that Comedy Central seems to make all these new shows with the exact same people in it every time?
Yes.
It is exact same people as every other show. John Ritter's son, Jason, I think his name was.
Yeah.
Ricky Lindholm, and then a bunch of same comedians you see do every Comedy Central thing, and you just it's all the same people. You know why your shows all last a season?
Because it's all the same people.
It's all the same people.
Yeah.
You're not that great.
And it's all one joke that they stretch out for 10 episodes.
Yep, there you go. That's what it was.
So you don't recommend that one. All right.
It was so good I didn't make it through the episode.
I've been there.
So essentially the show is about it's a one camera sitcom.
Okay.
How you have, if those of you aren't familiar with one camera sitcom, it's like Modern Family, The Office, where they're aware they're being recorded. It all takes place of one camera, and they interview people about things that are going on in the show.
Yeah, Modern Family and The Office. Those are kind of the two big ones of recent
Which is funny because Parks and Rec started like that.
Right.
In the last couple seasons, they really got away from it.
Which is probably for the best.
I agree. But yes, those are the ones that people are familiar with. It was like that, and it takes place back in not quite Renaissance times, a little after that. I'm trying to think what the period is called. It has a phrase to it, but I can't remember for the life of me. But everything is just like over the top in attempts to be funny.
Okay.
Like instead of having mutton chops, they're so big they're hanging down to the side.
Got it.
She gets Ricky Lindholm gets a telegraph, and she's like, "Oh, very interesting." The guy's like, "What does it say?" She goes, "I don't know. I'm a woman. I can't read."
Oh.
And hands it over. And
Yeah.
it could be funny. Just the delivery of it was poor. It came kind of out of nowhere. Like they put that joke in there. Just put that joke in there.
Right.
Everyone is rude and mean to the servants. And I get like at one time you're like, "Oh, that was funny." It is constant berating and like yelling and like hitting. I'm like, this is not funny anymore. This is just uncomfortable. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Like the show just fell super flat for me right away.
So it would do better as like maybe a hour and a half long play at a comedy club in LA, not a TV show.
Even then, man, it got so old so fast.
Okay.
Like how many women can't read jokes and how many I'm a servant jokes can you make until you're like, okay, thanks.
I have seen that premise before. It was called Blackadder. And in the 80s it worked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Okay.
What about you?
So True Detective came back this week.
Mm-hmm.
Because Game of Thrones is over, so HBO needed something else to put on. Did you watch the first?
It's on my Netflix queue.
Okay. So far, we're only one episode in, but season 2 is completely different than the first series was.
That's kind of what you thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I like it. So the first series was two people's name I can't remember, Matthew McConaughey and
Woody Harrelson.
that's the one. Yeah, I just keep picturing him from Kingpin. And they were detectives, and they were trying to solve some murder cases. The first episode of season 2, it's like very heavy on Colin Farrell's character,
Okay.
who is a just completely addicted to everything detective, drugs, alcohol, like all that kind of stuff. A lot of shady police work happening, working with the other side of the law, that sort of thing. So it's just got a really different tone to it. There is a murder that happens in the first episode, and I think that's going to be the through line on the season. But it's definitely not anywhere near the same tone as what the first series was. So I'm interested. It's still only like 10 episodes, I think. So.
Yeah, they're short seasons.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah. Again, like I don't think I said last time, Jess and I are rewatching Community. She'd
Right.
never seen it.
yeah.
Loving that show. Been watching that. And we're one episode away from the end of Daredevil.
How have you not finished that?
I've been gone a lot.
Yeah, but you're watching another period as opposed to Daredevil.
It's because that is something I watch by myself. Daredevil
Yeah.
is a show
No,
I gotta watch with Jess.
I 100% understand that.
Right.
That's why I don't start new shows with Jess anymore.
And the thing, just
I mean,
going out on your. I
yeah,
get it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it.
And she complains about it too. She's like, "You watch all these shows without me." I'm like, "You can't watch the 3 shows that we have. I have all these other ones that I need."
Right. I need to catch up on.
Yeah.
I need to catch up so badly. I'm considering changing my Netflix from 2 discs to 3 discs at a time.
I've considered it,
Yeah.
but I really don't have enough time to watch the DVDs on my own. Like that's my thing, because I work.
Yep.
It used to be that Jessica worked in the salon a lot at nights, so I could watch all kinds of stuff. Now the only night that she works in the salon is Wednesdays. All the other days are daytime shifts. Well, typically I'm here Wednesday nights.
Yes, you are.
So I get like a couple hours on Saturday and a couple hours on Sunday, and that's about it for my DVDs. Other than that, she's home, and I'm like, she doesn't want to watch. I've had a DVD sitting there for 2 weeks because she's like, I want to watch that. Great, when?
do what I do, man. Just make the copy and send it back.
If I don't get it watched by the end of this week, that's what I'm doing.
What disc is it, if you don't mind me asking?
It's Selma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Haven't watched it.
No. And part of the reason that we haven't watched it, she's like, it's a very serious. For those of you who don't know, Selma is a movie that came out last year about like Martin Luther King Jr.'s civil rights movements, the March in Selma in I think it was 64, maybe 65, but it's kind of like the 50th anniversary of all that.
Right. Big Oprah what to do.
So it's kind of a serious movie, and she's like, I don't know if I want to watch something serious that might be kind of depressing. I'm like, oh, fair enough, but I need to get that back. Because in my mind, on the DVDs, I'm like,
You're just wasting time.
I'm
You're
wasting money.
time.
So I'm like, I pay, what is it, $9 a month or $11 a month for
$11.99. I literally just looked before you came over to go to 3.
So you're talking $12 a month, and every day you have that DVD, you're spending more money for that disc.
Because you could be getting other things in the meantime.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
And
that's the Jew in me.
that's even more reason to go to 3 discs. So that way, when this kind of shit happens, you have other discs moving through.
Well, I still have other, and for some reason Netflix keeps sending me 3 discs at a time.
A couple times I've gotten 3 discs at a time.
They've got this weird thing going on right now where it's they're trying to improve their delivery algorithm. So when they get one of your discs back, they're assuming the other one's right behind it. So they just send out 2. So for the last month, I've essentially had 3 discs.
So maybe I should stop sending them back together and do one, waited 2 days and send the other.
That's what you do. Or you just do what you're doing now and just rip them all as they come in.
And that's really what I'm doing.
You're like, 30 discs in a month? All right.
Well, I mean, no, because you get 2 in,
Right.
you rip them, you mail it back. So if I mail it on a Monday, they get it on Tuesday, they send the next one Wednesday, I get it Thursday.
It sounds like you're describing Solomon Grundy right now.
Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. So you know what I mean? So I'm only getting, at best, I can do 6 discs a week. Unless...
And they stopped shipping on Saturdays, too, which throws me off.
And yet Amazon will now deliver to us on Sundays.
And on the same day that you order...
Yeah, but it is
store.
expensive.
I haven't looked at it yet.
It is like $30 for same day.
Oh, screw that noise.
There was a couple of times when I was in Dallas that getting next day delivery through Amazon was still cheaper than me going to Best Buy and just buying the product.
Yeah, if you could wait a day, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, movies. Anything? Have you caught any movies?
Yeah, I did watch some movies.
Okay.
I
You don't sound excited about this.
I was trying to think about this earlier today when I was setting up the table and the lights and everything about...
Just quitting and saying we're done?
No,
I
but...
think about that every day.
Oh,
I mean...
fine, we're done.
Yeah.
No, about what I thought about this movie.
Okay.
The problem is I can't come to a conclusion.
Okay. I have a few movies that I'm still on the fence about.
So the movie's American Hustle, starring Christian Bale,
Okay, I have not watched this
Bradley
yet.
Cooper,
And it's one that I've always... I keep meaning to watch.
Yep.
I've never got around to it.
and it has been on my tablet to watch for a long time now.
Okay.
And I kept I'm such an asshole. I kept opening it and being like, I want to watch American Gangster, not this.
Which,
So-
I mean, to be fair, American Gangster, also a great movie.
So I've watched American Gangster 3 times, and the intention to watch American Hustle, I'm like, no, I'm just gonna put back on American Gangster, So I finally watched it. What happened was on my flight back, and it's kind of a long story, but this is a story why if first class upgrade is available, buy it.
Not all of us have the money to do that.
No. Not like the regular price upgrade. It was 10 minutes for the flight. They had some available. So here's a little traveling tip for you guys. If the flight leaves in about 10 minutes, go ask them about upgrades because they will sell you the first class seat for $60.
Oh, wow.
Bingo.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, because it's at this point they're not going to sell it. They'll make the little extra that they
right.
can.
Yeah.
So she's like, it's $129. I'm all like, 99? 99.
You haggled about the ticket price?
Yes.
Okay.
You thought you were a Jew. I got it for $99 though.
Well, fair
I
enough.
got it. So I got it for $99. I'm like, sweet, first class. Because here's how I rationalize it in my head. Unlimited cocktails,
Right.
food, unlimited cocktails, dessert, unlimited cocktails.
But sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Have you joined that Alaska club yet?
Yeah, I'm an MVP.
So you get into the lounge?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I haven't yet gone into the lounge.
Oh, you need to.
I will.
So I was just reading a thing today about the 10 hacks at SeaTac. One of them is join the Alaska Club because it's only like, well, you're an MVP, but even if you're not, it's like $50. Unlimited craft beer and vodka-based beverages.
Yep.
And all of the food that they have out there, all included. The one time I was in an American club, it was the best thing I ever did.
So this is why first
anyways,
class was the first
class.
best.
Yes.
Pay for the first class upgrade. And despite what Jay thinks, I'm not wealthy. Like, I'm not paying the $1,000 first class. Like, yo, I got bills to pay, okay? Right. Jesus. So I get on the plane. A little bit of lightning. Can't fly.
Oh,
So the problem is, and we found out, if lightning is going on, they cannot have people out on the runway
Right.
during lightning,
Yep.
which means they can't load the bags in.
yeah.
Can't load the bags in, we can't leave.
Right.
So we're all on the plane and we can't go anywhere. So first class is like, well, who wants a cocktail? I'm all like, giddy up, cowboy, right here.
Can I get 2? Just save a trip.
So and I tell him flat out, I'm like, "You just whiskey on the rocks. And he's like, okay. He brings me back like 3/4 way full of, and I'm all like, he's like, I thought I'd make yours a triple because we got some time. Not, I'll make it a double. I'll make it a triple. I'm like, well, let's.
All right, I'm upgrading to
Let's
first
get to
class
work.
next time I fly.
3 hours we sat on the runway.
Oh, snap.
3 hours. So I watched American Hustle before we even took off. And I was so happy I paid the $100 for the upgrade.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, I don't know how I come off on the screen of you people. I'm a big guy. Like, I am broad as fuck. So can you imagine just sitting there like,
Oh, I get uncomfortable in coach seats. I can't imagine what it's like for somebody larger than me.
On
And
top-
I am not
you
a
are
big
not.
person.
You're not. On top of that, it's already a 5-hour flight.
Yeah.
So that means my ass was in that seat for over 8.5 hours.
And you're on Alaska, right?
No.
Oh, what did
this
you
was because we bought this flight with points. This was a United flight.
Full flat seat? Did you
Yep.
get the full flat?
No. It
Oh.
doesn't recline all the way.
Oh, okay.
No. A good amount though.
Yeah.
So 8 hours. My ass was over 8 hours, just under 9. So glad I got the first class. Long story short, I watched American Hustle. Wow.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Long story medium, maybe. But,
Right.
So, your thoughts on American Hustle? Since that was where we started.
It started off, I liked it well enough. I don't really like Christian Bale as an actor, generally speaking.
Okay.
I felt like he did a good job in this. Bradley Cooper was actually the least believable of all the characters.
Really?
Yeah, and I usually really like Bradley
Yeah.
Cooper. Didn't. I want to say Amy Adams
Yes.
did a fine job. I've never seen her topless before, and for some reason, in my mind, she just seemed like the type of girl who would never do a nude scene.
Right.
Turns out I was wrong.
She's supposed to be that sweet girl next door with the red hair.
It wasn't like a full on. It was a very brief. I was just like, it's always those things when it happens on a flight. You're like, oh,
Right. Did anybody see that?
the dude next to me, you cool? We're cool. Okay.
This is why I can't read Zenoscope on a plane.
Oh no, good. Grim fairy tales will throw you off the flight.
Yeah.
So luckily it was a very brief scene because I always feel weird like horror movies, sex scenes, and gore.
Right.
So overall, despite not liking Christian Bale, he was actually the person who did the best on that movie. The whole premise is he's a con man. He meets Amy Adams, who's a con woman. They join forces. Bradley Cooper's an FBI agent who figures out that they're conning people,
Okay.
catches them in the middle of a con, and says, either you come help us catch other con people, or we're throwing you in jail.
Got it.
The downside of this movie was you knew point A, you knew point B, and you easily guessed what point C was going to be.
Got it.
What do you think point C is going to be? Con man and con woman, FBI is now trying to use them.
They con the FBI.
Bam.
Wow.
Shocking, right?
Yeah.
Shocking. And that's exactly what happens.
So I'm confused on how Jennifer Lawrence fits into this whole thing.
Jennifer Lawrence, also a very believable part of this,
Okay. Well, that's good.
plays Christian Bale's wife.
Okay.
He's married and takes Amy Adams as his girlfriend
Got it.
because he's unhappily married.
Oh.
But he won't leave because he adopted her son. Not even his biological son.
Okay.
And that's the only saving grace in this movie, to make the character seem like an actual human being. Because he's such a dirtbag. He's such a lowlife. The only caring factor is how much he loves this son that he adopted.
Okay.
Overall, the movie was okay.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it the first half while I was watching it. And then I just felt like after the first half was that, I'm like, when is this movie going to be over
Right.
with? Like,
Yeah.
I am now done with you.
Yeah.
You did, like, I really enjoyed the first half. And then for some reason, it just dived after that.
Okay.
So that was that. I also watched The Kingsman again.
I still need to watch that movie. It's out on video now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I own the Blu-ray. Do you want to borrow it?
I don't have Blu-ray.
I don't think this one came. If it came with the DVD as well, I will throw it your
Okay.
way.
I still have your Captain America that I haven't watched.
Okay. Well, it may take me as long to get you that as it took me to get you those chips.
Fair enough. So what you're saying is the DVD will be expired.
It will no longer be valid,
Okay.
my
All
friend. Would you like another beer?
I would, yeah. I'm
Right?
good with another beer. Okay.
So
Kingsman, does it hold up now that you've watched it multiple times?
watching it the second time, enjoyed it just as much as the first.
Good.
If not, maybe a little better.
Yeah.
Like, I like this movie so much, I bought the trade, and I read it on my last flight.
Right. So there are certain movies that I've seen where things happen that you miss during the first watching.
Yep.
Was this one of those where the second time through you're like, oh, I didn't even notice that the first time?
There was actually nothing where I was all like, oh, I didn't notice that
Okay.
before. It was just like, it was super enjoyable the second time. Like, I knew it was going to happen. I saw it all coming, didn't care. Still liked every bit of it.
Okay.
There still feels like there's a lot in there.
Yeah, right? I can hear it sloshing around a little bit. Yeah, that's like 3/4 of a beer still.
For those of you who are watching at home, see, there's like another beer in there left. You do have something to take back with you.
Okay, so Kingsman was good.
Kingsman was awesome. Definitely worth watching.
Okay. I will watch it at some point. That's one that I really wanted to go see in the theaters. I just never made it to it.
There's only, if I
I think-
recall, you were going to come with us.
I
and
think
you bailed.
I was going to, yeah.
It was like Jurassic World. The prop. Okay, so
I was more committed to Kingsman than I was Jurassic World.
I feel like we go to the movies too late for you, and you're like, it is late. I've had a long day. Now, fuck you guys.
But see, I don't have that problem now because I just switched jobs last week for those of you that don't care, and I actually start an hour and a half later now.
You know, I just realized, Jay,
What's that?
you've switched jobs starting an hour and a half later. I will no longer be traveling shortly. We need to get you a movie pass, buddy.
I'm really considering it.
We need to get you a movie pass.
I have been on that page and had my cursor over the trial so many times.
I actually think it's gone up in price since Jess and I came in.
I think it's still $30 a month.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, get on that.
35 in metro areas, but I think
We count as a metro area. Mine's still.
we're not. Like if I was in Seattle.
Mine is $34.99 a month.
Oh, okay,
But-
then maybe we are. I don't know.
That may be because I also can do 3D movies.
Oh, which you know how I feel about the 3D
You know how
with the one eye.
I also do not care for the 3D. But what often happens is, as a group, we go to movies, and generally the only time that we end up going is 3D.
Is the 3D,
movie.
yeah,
So instead of paying the extra money,
Yeah.
screw it, I'll give it to
Well,
Movie
it's like
Pass.
you and I went to the Avengers double feature
Yes.
in 3D.
In 3D.
And I'm like, motherfucker.
No choice though,
But-
man.
So did you watch any other movies?
No, movies for you though.
Okay.
What do you got?
So, we've talked about my Netflix queue.
Yes, extensively.
I got to the point a couple years ago where I had added so many things to my DVD queue that I'm like, nope, I can't add anymore. I cut myself off. And I am still getting DVDs that I added like 2 years ago.
Which I'm confused by because Selma just came out like maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
I know I added that one.
Damn,
I broke
see
my
that?
rule.
Breaking his own rules.
I broke my rule.
Okay,
But-
so yeah, movies.
So I open up the mailbox the other day and I pull out my DVDs and I rip open the envelope and it's Cop Out. Are you familiar with Cop Out?
Cop Out with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan.
That's the one.
I did not watch it, but I went to a Kevin Smith event where he talked about it. Where
Oh, was he involved in it?
he directed it.
Oh.
Oh.
So
Oh, tell me more.
I
Jim.
made it a
Tell me
half hour
more.
in, and I'm like, fuck it, I cannot watch another second of this.
And you bailed out.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So the premise is Bruce Willis, Tracy Morgan are both detectives for the, I want to say NYPD.
Sure.
Sure.
NYPD or LAPD, I'm sure.
One of the two. They're interchangeable, right?
It's always the same.
They are known as total fuck-ups on the force, and they get suspended from policing. Bruce Willis's daughter is getting married, which means he's supposed to pay for the wedding. Traditional,
Sure.
whatever. Well, now that he's suspended, he can't earn money to pay for the wedding. So he's suspended for like a whole month. So he has this.
Did he not save up in advance? He's got a month to the wedding.
He's a public peace officer. They do not make enough money to save, apparently.
Take it to Twitter, buddy. This is not the forum for that.
I have seen what police officers make, and I don't think that's true. But okay.
Go ahead.
So, in order to get money for the wedding, he has this very rare baseball card, and he's going to sell it because previously one of these baseball cards has sold for $85,000.
Okay.
It was like the first year Topps made the current style baseball cards, and it was some player that nobody's ever heard of. But so he goes to sell it. As he's in the collectible shop selling it, the place gets held up, and they steal his card. And the whole movie's about him and Tracy Morgan trying to find these people and get his card back.
I've seen, as you describe it, I know that's been on the background somewhere where I kind of tuned in and out of
Right.
the movie, but didn't pay full attention to it.
And probably because it's not a good enough movie to pay full attention to. Like, I was actually doing other things while the movie was on, and it was so bad that I still turned off the background
Yikes.
noise.
Yikes.
I have no clue why I added it to my queue. I'm assuming there was somebody in the movie somewhere that I was interested in, and I added it, but I don't know who.
So it's funny. So I went to a Kevin Smith event where he was talking about this movie a couple of years ago with Mike.
Right.
And he was explaining how you don't direct Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis just shows up and does Bruce Willis.
Well, that's why he's the same person in every movie.
He's the same person in every movie.
Yeah.
You direct everybody else. So he's explaining how, like, Tracy do this and so do that. Bruce, good job.
Bruce, you're there. Good.
But he wasn't saying it in a bad aspect. He was saying that he does it so often that there is no directing him. You just let him go.
Okay.
How was Bruce Willis in the movie? Now I'm curious, knowing
He was
that.
exactly the same as every other movie he's been in.
There you go. Bruce Willis does not change.
He could have been the guy from Die Hard. He could have been the guy from The Whole Nine Yards. He could have been the guy from...
Lucky Number 11.
Yeah, I actually never
Oh.
saw that.
What?
No.
Such a good movie.
I was going to say, what was the Tarantino movie he was in?
I don't know. I don't care about Tarantino.
I want to say he was in Pulp Fiction.
No, that was John Travolta and...
Well, he was the main guy, but I think there was a subplot with...
I don't know, man.
Yeah. He was like some gangster guy that had to get out of town because his... Anyways, same character every movie's in.
In Lucky Number 11, he's some gangster guy who fakes his death.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was the 30 minutes of Cop Out that I watched.
You listed two movies I'd never watched before. Pulp Fiction,
Don't ever watch it.
and No Desire to,
Nope.
and any Die Hard movie.
I've never seen an entire Die Hard movie. I've seen bits and pieces when they were on TBS.
Yep, same here.
I didn't watch Pulp Fiction until, I want to say, early last year. Because it finally showed up on my Netflix queue. And it was one of those ones that everybody said, you have to watch.
No.
You have to watch. And I watched it, and I'm like, fuck, there goes 2 hours of my life. Same thing with Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, no, don't. No, okay.
Back to back. And I'm just like, fuck this Tarantino guy.
So, A, Tarantino's a hack. B, it is widely known that he rips off other people's movies.
Right.
To the point of Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
There was a movie made in the 70s, the exact same premise, called Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Django Unchained. There was 3 movies
Right.
made in the 70s, the same name.
Yeah.
Kill Bill is just the bride.
And I have
Reservoir
not,
Dogs
I have
is just
not-
the rising city. Like, it is the same shit, people.
Yeah.
Don't support him. Don't do it. I'm talking to you.
So, speaking of old movies, I did watch a very old movie this week.
Metropolis?
Metropolis.
How was the theater? Tell me all about
Okay,
it.
so this is cool. For those of you who don't know, Metropolis is a German silent film from 1927. I watched it a couple years ago for a film class I took, and the Everett Historic Theater does this thing where they will show silent movies with live organ accompaniment, which is how they did it back in the day.
Sure.
Like, they didn't have sound. They didn't have the technology to record sound on the early movies, so they would just have like an organ or an orchestra or whatever play along. Super cool. But you go in there, it was like $15 for a ticket, which, to be fair, is all right.
Okay.
For that sort of thing, for the novelty of it.
I get it.
And really, if I'm going to go see like a movie that's non-matinee time right now, I'm already paying like $13 or $14
That is true. Yep.
And the concessions at the Everett Historic Theater are ridiculously cheap. Bag of popcorn, $3.
Delicious.
A bottle of water, $1. Like what it should be. And it's cool because all the people that work at the Everett Historic Theater are actually volunteers. So your tips are what pay for them to be there. It's interesting.
Okay.
I'm actually thinking of volunteering at some point. But so the Historic Theater is pretty cool. The theater itself has been around for, I want to say, about 100 years. It burned down at one point and they rebuilt it in like 1919 or something like that. And like the whole masthead they have over the theater space is original since then. Nobody's touched it. Nobody's redone anything to it. And at this point, they were afraid to touch it because it's all wood. So like, if I touch it, it's just going to crumble.
It's just going to fall down.
Yeah. We're going to find out there's termites in there. But so it's cool. So it was a 2-hour movie. They played an hour of it, did a 15-minute intermission, just like they did back in the day, and then played the other hour of it. The organ that they have there is a very rare organ, and the person who played the organ, I guess, used to play at something called Pizza and Pipes, which was a local pizza chain that also had an organ in there. And somebody would come in and play, like, scores from movies and cartoons. It was, I don't know, I'm not familiar, but they explained it. But it's cool because you know that it's not like somebody has a CD and they're pressing play and it's just music.
Right.
Like you see him playing and there's tons of pipes behind the screen and there's boxes up on the side that do some of the other sounds. One of the keys actually got stuck during the performance. So there was a person who had installed the organ there 10 years ago, had to go behind the stage and figure out which pipe it was and actually unstick it. So it was super genuine. It was cool. The movie, Metropolis, is, like I said, it's from 1927. It's the director's view of what society will be like in 2024.
So we still have...
We have like 9 years. But pretty much, it describes what society is now, which is great.
So spot on.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're talking about. It's got the metal head and
Yeah.
Okay.
So what it is there's this city called Metropolis, and you have the ruling class, which they hang out above ground.
1%.
Exactly. The 1%. They hang out above ground, and all they do is fuck around all day in their pleasure garden. And, right?
All right, sign me up. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
And then you have the working class, so you've got the top level, which is above ground. Below that is the machine city, which is where they do all the machines that make everything above ground work. The machines are ridiculous and make no sense. There's one that's like a clock, and you have to, like, there's lights around it, and you have to move the hands of the clock to where the lights lit up. And the machines make no sense. But the actual workers live below that in, like, just absolute poverty. And they just march into work every day, and they run the machines to make everything for the working class, or for the ruling class work. So it's exactly like it is say. We've got the people that go to work and they do the menial tasks so that the rich can enjoy life.
Is this your start to the revolution?
Yes.
Is this how we're going to do it?
No, this is it.
This is
We're
it?
starting right now.
Gather up. Attica. Attica. Let's go, Jay. Kill down the man. Attica. Attica. I want the episode to end right there.
You can come back now.
Oh, no, it's over.
Okay.
That'd be a good end.
It could be, but I'm not done explaining the movie.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh.
So,
Carry on then.
okay, so the guy that's like the president of Metropolis or whatever, his kid sees some woman in the garden one day giving kids a tour. Turns out she's from the working class down below. He falls in love with her right away, goes down below, becomes a worker, and then revolts against his dad. So it's somebody from the ruling class figuring out all the shit that the working class is going through and leads a revolt. It's kind of like Russia.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, interesting movie because this is before any of that stuff happened. This is the guy's idea of the future. It was one of the very first full-length sci-fi films. And so like I said, it was Germany, or it was a German producer that made it. The German government actually banned some of his original scenes. And back in the day, it was literally film, like strips of film. So he had to cut these scenes, retape the film together, and they got thrown away.
Oh, so we don't even know.
Nobody can find them. They're not in
Interesting.
existence anymore. So, but super interesting. And now I want to go to another one of the.
I was about to say, let's go to one.
Yeah,
I'll totally be down.
They got another one in August.
Oh, so they don't do this like weekly.
No, it's like once a month ish. But I want to say the one in August is Birth of a Nation.
Do you know when in August?
No, but I can find out and I can let you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was my other movie. So I watched a half hour of Cop Out and I watched 2 hours of Metropolis.
As you say that reminds me, I watched another movie on my flight.
What'd you watch?
Elysium.
Oh, had you not seen that before?
I had not seen that before.
That was one I did see in theaters.
Did you like it?
No.
Did you feel like it was every other movie you've ever seen about that exact same thing?
Yes.
Okay. So essentially Elysium is...
With Mexican kids sprinkled in.
They were in LA, thank you.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Also known as Mexico.
I guess they're as resilient as the cockroaches, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
cucaracha.
oh.
Oh.
He's racist. Essentially, Elysium is based off of the exact same thing Metropolis is.
Yeah.
Where there is an elite few people who decided fuck the Earth and they've moved to Elysium above. It's an orbiting space station. Everyone on Earth is dying and does not have health care. And
It's like the America.
it's true. And instead, Matt Damon has got radiation. He's gonna. Why are you laughing?
Sorry. Okay. I've never seen Team America, but I used to work with a guy that apparently there's a line in Team America where instead of swearing, they're like, Matt Damon.
That's the curse. Is Matt Damon?
Yeah. So anytime he'd get mad about something, he'd be like, Matt Damon. So anytime I hear the name, that's what's in my head. Sorry. Keep going. Elysium.
So Elysium, essentially, Matt Damon has gotten radioactive poisoning. He is going to die in 5 days, so he's decided he's going to try to find a way to get to Elysium to get cured in one of their... So every house there has a little chamber you lie in, it automatically cures you of every disease you have. In the process, he gets added an exoskeleton. He goes up there, saves the day, blah, 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 blah. It's pretty meh. I've seen the movie like 19 times. It's my same thing as the same guys who did District 9.
Yes.
I felt about that the same way I felt about District 9. Meh, okay. I don't ever care about watching that ever again.
I couldn't finish District 9.
This was a little better than District 9, but not by much.
The only reason I finished Elysium is because I paid for a theater ticket. District 9 was on DVD.
There you go.
And I'm like, I don't care. It's not grabbing me.
No, and I watched all of District 9. And by the end, it did not grab me and I did not care.
No.
You know how it ends? I don't remember because I didn't give a shit.
Right?
Yep.
Something about drones or something.
I got beer to drink. More important things to do.
America.
Merc.
Yeah, so I haven't watched any other TV or movies. That was it for me.
I think that does it for us then.
Okay. So you didn't read? Well, I mean, you read some comics on your trip, right? Did you read anything, or did you just?
Yeah.
watch
Oh no,
movies?
I've read a bunch of things.
What'd you read since last Wednesday? Regardless if it's new or not.
Since last Wednesday,
And then we have a new story to talk about.
Oh,
Sorry.
tell me about the story first.
Well, you and I were messaging about this, I think this morning. The announcement that Kelly Sue is no longer on Captain Marvel.
god! Oh, Kelly Sue.
Can we bitch about this for a second?
Yes.
See what I did there?
Yes, you did. Well, we were gonna make this a short episode, but no.
No, fuck it.
Mrs. Matt Fraction ruined that for us and ruined it for you guys. Honestly, go ahead, Jay.
So we've shat on Kelly Sue DeConnick plenty on this show.
Not enough. if you ask me.
Not enough. But her legacy, the last what's it been like 2 years? She's been on this book or so.
About 2.5. Yeah.
Has been Captain Marvel, the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel. and she's put all of her women's lib views into this, and which, to be fair, I'm equal rights. I'm all about equal rights. Don't force it down my throat. And that's what she's done in almost everything she's written. The Carol core. Come on.
So essentially, what Jay's talking about is, again, like you, I'm all about equality. I love women. I'm a big fan of women. In fact, I'm not going to say that. That was an inappropriate comment to make. I'm not going to
Since
say
when
it.
do we stop ourselves from that?
This one was like,
Okay.
this one was
Fair
like
enough.
the
Okay.
line, and now that I tiptoe across it, I blew that shit up as I
Okay.
cross.
All right.
I'm a big fan of women. The problem with Kelly Sue DeConnick is the same problem I have with most women who refer to themselves as women's lib. And the problem I have with that is, why are you women's lib and not just, wow, there's a whole nother beer in
That's
there?
what I said. You got room in your glass. Go for it.
Oh my God.
Oh.
This is like a magical growler.
It's like Mary Poppins growler.
Scotty, thank you for filling that thing up like beyond the fill point, buddy. So essentially the problem is the same thing I have with most women's lib. And I apologize if I offend anybody. And feel free to tweet or email us your thoughts on this.
In fact, please do.
I would look forward to reading that. Equality. Most women's lib is not about equality, it's about supremacy. It's never like, I can do the same thing you can do.
I can do it better.
It's, I can do it better with always a fucking chip on the shoulder.
Right.
Always a chip on the shoulder. Which, let's see you piss your name in the snow.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's just going to come out as a giant dot. Let's be fair.
Unless your name is Dot, because that's impressive.
Well, yes.
So the problem with the women's lib in comic books is, I want to read a book about a woman, written by a woman, discussing women issues and women empowerment.
Right.
To the fact of, Thor is now a woman. Captain America is now black. Spider-Man is now black. Essentially, white men are the devil.
Yes.
And Kelly Sue DeConnick's writing has always made it that, where her writing isn't necessarily about women are equal to men. It's more, here's why men are horrible. It's not building women up to be equal. It's why men are worse and putting men down. And her work on Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps has been that. I don't agree with women viewing men as the enemy, and that's what makes them feel better about themselves.
Right.
I view that as actually worse than what they're fighting against.
Okay. So fuck Kelly Sue. Anyway,
Word.
she announced either early today or late yesterday.
Yesterday.
She's no longer going to be on Captain Marvel once this redundant Secret Wars event is over. I don't know what you said. She's got something else. Oh, her and husband Matt are going to be doing some stuff for Universal TV,
Yes.
which very well may be a women's lib TV show. I don't know.
I'm just waiting for Bitch Planet, the TV show, man.
And I'm telling you, it would not. I think.
Nope, you're
I
absolutely
think
right.
the market is primed for that. Not that I would watch it because I stopped reading the book. But with things like Orange is the New Black and there's like one or two other shows that are in the same vein, this would be the time to do that. But what did you say is the new status quo for Captain Marvel?
Oh, okay. So, the new premise is she is going to be the first line of defense for Earth. She's going to have an orbiting station where she will protect Earth from all incoming outer space, outer galactic threats.
Okay. And the problem with this is
We currently have that in a company called Sword.
Right.
There is Shield, who is on Earth, and Sword, who orbits it.
Right.
And it is managed by Agent Brand.
right.
We also have
The Winter Soldier. So the whole end of the
Original Sin.
original sin was that we found out that the real Nick Fury has been hanging out on the moon doing that exact thing for years. All we've known of him is LMDs. And then at the end of that storyline, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, said, nope, I will take that post now. So
Right.
we've got Sword, we've got the Winter Soldier, but somehow Captain Marvel is now the first line of defense.
Captain Marvel is now the first new line of defense.
I just want to see her and Agent Brand get in a fight and be like, no, I'm first. No, I'm first.
So here's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think after Secret Wars, either they're going to get rid of Sword because it's
Because why
possible,
not?
because Carol Danvers is cooler than Sword, or they're all going to be the first line of defense, and depending on what book you read, is who is the actual first line of defense.
You know what's going to piss me off? When they appoint Carol Danvers as the new head of Sword.
Oh man. So the reason that Agent Brand makes sense is being the head of Sword is she's half alien.
Right.
That makes sense to me.
And also, that's always been what she is.
Always been.
That and, hooking up with Beast.
And even that's not happening anymore.
Oh, really?
No, yeah, they broke up.
I really need to get back into Marvel.
They broke up at the point. Actually, as you want to get back into Marvel, I'm leaving Marvel.
Okay, then I don't want to get back into Marvel.
I have less and less Marvel titles on my pull list.
Yeah, I have less and less DC.
Mainstream.
Yeah. I'm really going independent. Although I was going through all my Comixology books to figure out if I'm behind on anything. There is a lot of shit coming out tomorrow. Grayson comes back tomorrow.
Grayson comes back. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Grayson's tomorrow? I thought it was next week.
No, it's at the 24th.
Fantastic.
Which according to my
Welcome back,
watch is
Grayson.
today, because my watch is a half a day ahead.
Yeah, it is tomorrow, bud. Awesome. Well, looking forward to Grayson being back. We Are Robin debuts tomorrow as well.
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
I'm curious what the premise is. Is it just a bunch of kids who are defending Gotham and call themselves Robin?
That's what I gather.
That is also what I gather, so I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of titles coming out. Like you had said, independent books.
Yeah.
Some are fantastic, some are not.
Oh, no, I've read a lot of really shitty independent books last week.
And that's what worries me. But to be fair, I've read a lot of shitty Marvel books this month.
Right, yeah. And that's the thing, too, this is what I hate about indie books, is there's so many books that I don't consider Image indie anymore.
No, absolutely not.
It's creator-owned, but
Does it make it indie?
they've got just as much exposure as Superman and Batman and X-Men and Avengers. They're all
In fact, Image has a larger presence at Comic Cons
yeah.
than Marvel and DC combined.
You heard that both Marvel and DC are not going to be at San Diego this year?
That's right.
Like
Marvel will
fuck
be
you
there.
guys.
Marvel Studios will be there.
Yeah, Marvel TV will be there.
Yes.
But as a comic publisher,
Will
they
not be there.
And I'm like, fuck you guys.
Neither
that's
will
the
DC.
biggest gathering of your fans out there.
I disagree.
And I know why, but go ahead.
So, I have been to 30 Comic Cons this year.
Yeah.
And I will tell you now, San Diego is no longer a comic
It's not.
con.
And
it's an
that's
entertainment convention. And in doing so, I've been there 2 years in a row now. And it takes me the exact same amount. Actually, it takes me less time to go through their show floor than Emerald City.
Really.
Really.
And I haven't been to San Diego ever, so I don't.
And please do not, this is no discrimination against San Diego.
It's like 80% discrimination. But
There's some, yes. The problem is that it has expanded so far beyond comic books. It is no longer focused on comic books. And it seems like their show floor that is dedicated to artists and comic exhibitors is less and less every year and
it's more
replaced.
movies and movies and movies.
Exactly. So I think for Marvel and DC to say, you know what, we're going to send our studios there and we're going to go promote at actual Comic Cons that are based on such things.
But see,
makes sense to me.
I also think that Marvel and DC have the ability to refocus some of that if they choose to. They can capitalize on the 130, 150,000 people there and be like, this is what we're doing on TV, yes. And if you like that, if you like Daredevil on Netflix, this is the comic that we're doing about Daredevil. I think they could capitalize on some of their success, but
I get what you're saying. I don't think the attendees of San Diego are going there for that. I just don't.
all right.
With that said, one last thing I want to touch on, and then we're done.
Okay.
John Bernthal is the Punisher. They are currently filming season 2 starting next week of Daredevil. John Bernthal from Walking Dead fame is cast as the Punisher. What do you think?
The only exposure I've ever had to John Bernthal is Walking Dead.
Sure.
I haven't seen anything else he's been in.
I don't know anything else he's been in.
And I don't know if he's been in anything else. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Because I feel like he could probably do angry really well.
He does.
Maybe slightly vengeful, which, I mean, obviously is Punisher. But I don't know that there's anything about him that stands out for that role as opposed to 50 other people that are acting right now. So I don't think he's going to be terrible. I don't think he's going to be amazing, but I think he'll do all right.
The biggest thing I took away from John Bernthal being Punisher is not that John Bernthal's playing Punisher,
But that Punisher's going to be...
but that Punisher's
Right.
going to be
Yeah.
in there, which says to me, so let's call it the first season of Netflix Marvel.
Right.
Daredevil, Jessica Jones, I'm sorry.
Jones, yeah. That's better.
Luke Cage,
Yeah.
and then Defenders.
There's one more. There's an Iron Fist, I think.
Maybe.
I know there's 4, and then Defenders.
Sorry, I thought there was 3 then Defenders.
No, it's
but
4 and then Defenders. I think it's an Iron Fist.
regardless,
Either way.
the fact that they are now, that tells me that they, not only are we on board for season 2, which I kind of assumed,
Right.
but that they're going to expand the Netflix universe.
Yeah.
Daredevil has been fantastic. If they do Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders all as well as that, I think they have the possibility to surpass the quality of the movies.
And I think that's... So, have you watched all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I've watched the first 4 episodes and have not cared to watch the rest.
That's about where I'm at.
There you go.
I think the Netflix series are Marvel's serial saving grace.
Oh, absolutely.
Because,
Absolutely.
I mean, I've heard much more positive things about Agent Carter than I have about S.H.I.E.L.D. But still not that many.
And it's the same thing. Agent Carter, 2 episodes in, I don't care anymore.
And I didn't even try it. Because I'm like, I
Shield,
don't...
same thing. Because it feels like it's a time waster. And everyone I talk to says the same thing. Oh, yeah, but you have to watch this episode and this episode where it involves the movies.
Right.
Then it's good.
It started at episode 8 where they tie in with
Yeah,
Thor
nope,
2. And I'm
I
like,
don't
no.
care. I don't
if there's
care.
a caveat, then I'm out.
Agreed. Daredevil stands on its own as fantastic.
Right. So if that's really where Marvel's going to make their push, good on them. Because Daredevil was top to bottom amazing.
There you go.
So, and if they bring Punisher in there, I'm sure it's going to be great. Because that's one of the things that, I think that's my thing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I didn't like. And even, like, the Marvel movies, they're lighter, they're funnier.
Oh, Daredevil is much grittier than anything you see on the Marvel movies.
Daredevil is fucking dark and dark and dark.
But that's the character. That's
Right.
where he should be.
Exactly. And, you know, I think with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think my problem was, okay, I got 4 people I don't give a shit about. Why do I...
Yep.
What is my investment in this show?
None. Your investment in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is to hopefully hear a Whedon-esque quip every 30 seconds.
Right.
There's no character that I care about. There's nothing that drives that for me. And don't get me wrong. I've watched the first 3. I check in every now and then just to make sure my jaded anger towards that show stays where it should be. And sure enough, it does.
Yeah.
That show, I do not care.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if Marvel chooses to push on with the Netflix route, I think it'll be good.
Yep, I agree.
I won't watch their TV shows though.
That is absolutely fair. I agree. Fantastic. Guys, this is another episode down. We didn't talk about comics because we're on Tuesday. Comics come out on Wednesday. We'll be back next week with 2 weeks worth of comics.
I may throw something up in the meantime. I haven't decided yet.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe. Because I've been reading some stuff.
Have you been reading some stuff?
I have been reading some stuff.
Okay. I was going to also consider throwing something up.
You have a video we need to get up.
I have 2 videos.
You have 2 videos
I have
we
2
need to
videos.
get up. You need to send those to me.
I do need to send those. I'll throw them up on the drive.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys.
See you next time.
Take care.